So I just want to mention, just very briefly here, just a few like essential tools that I have. Actually, I have a whole list of tools. In somatic experiencing, and I'm not an expert in somatic experience, I've just been doing it, but I've been doing it from a sort of very shut down place. I was on medication most of the time doing it. It wasn't until I went off the medication in September that I started to really tune into my body, really be able to be present, really experience at a much deeper level, which is not to say that you can't do it on medication. You absolutely can. It depends on what your environment is and what your circumstances are. But I think antidepressants can be can make a little bit of a challenge there, can present a little bit of a challenge somewhat. And again, it's more about my life than maybe about the medication. Just I've been sort of going under, so I couldn't kind of take things in with real presence. And I had a little more stillness. And again, if you've watched my other videos here, I'm going back on medication now. That's the journey now that I'm in. But I built up a lot of tools and resources, and I think some of them, different people will resonate with different tools. So you have to kind of find what works for you and what's, somatic experience has its own sort of set of resources and actually that's one of the things that I would mention here is somatic experiencing is, for me, and I'm working with just one practitioner, and I've seen some Irene Lyon videos online. She has a whole set of resources. I was watching them initially, and then I started working with a practitioner. Sort of backed off from watching them. I don't fully agree with her approach. She's sort of anti these additional tools. She's talking about resourcing in terms of like things you can do to settle your nervous system. Maybe I'm saying this wrong. Ways of sort of coping until you have more capacity on board. That's the way I would describe it. And again, I may be saying this incorrectly. And she talks about sort of some of these other techniques as just sort of being like hacks, and they don't do any deeper healing. And I would disagree with that. Some of the energy work does do deep healing. And there's plenty of things that do heal at a deeper level. Meditation kind of can be deeply healing, but there's some circumstances when you're super anxious in which you just can't meditate. I mean, that's a real thing. So I'm going to mention just a few, and then maybe I'll go through my full resource list another time. The two things that I found for myself that have worked for me, and again, not worked enough, but that have helped me to where I am right now. One is somatic experiencing, and the other one is energy healing techniques. And I would put, there's several that I would mention. I'm not going to give names here right now, I think, but there's several really powerful energy healers out there and energy modalities out there. And everybody resonates with different things. I will mention Donna because she's one of the best known names, not best known names, but she's very well known in energy medicine. She kind of created a whole field of energy medicine. It's just kind of amazing. And again, I'm not an expert in it, but I've used some of her tools and they're really helpful. And I've used some other tools. Again, I think that the other ones I'm going to mention separately here. I'm just going to say somatic experience is just, again, without sounding like I'm selling somatic experiencing here, but it's, to me, the deeper level. It is the deeper level healing. There are other things that also help heal alongside it. But it's sort of the work that really, I don't want to say needs to be done, but it's the work that really helps you find some relief and find some really deeper healing. I don't know if I'm going around in circles here the way I'm describing it. It's the deep healing work. And I'm trying to think, I've been doing it for 5 years, like why am I where I'm at? Why am I not succeeded more? Why am I not calmer? Why am I don't have more of my life together? And again, I think in part this is because this is a path my soul has chosen, perhaps. But also, I think I had a lot of really stressful things happening these last several years. The circumstances, I'm not blaming circumstances, but circumstances have made it hard to fully move forward. And I have my own fears that are holding me back. That's a fact. I've been holding myself back my entire life. But again, I see that as part of this sort of like life path that I'm on. The fears that I've had, I think I have a lot of ancestral patterns that I've inherited. Inherited trauma, inherited fears, and that I have carried with me my entire life. And I've sort of, they've really been running my life, without being conscious of that. And I have a little more consciousness and presence at this point in my life. It doesn't necessarily make it easier. Wanting to run away from that which is stressful, totally natural, especially when it really stresses out your nervous system. You want to just find some peace and relax. That's, of course, we all do. And I spent a lot of my life running away from things and making my life smaller and smaller and scarier and scarier. And there's a part of me right now that really wants to live and wants a full life and is willing to kind of move through this discomfort to get there. Although the discomfort is not at the level without medication. That's just too much discomfort. And again, it depends on what your anxiety level is and what I was going through. I don't even want to talk about it because it's kind of extreme, but I know there are other extremes too. So it was more than I could handle. It is more than I can handle right now, honestly. I'm just trying to make it through each day at this point. And I wish I could say something more positive and more uplifting than that. But sometimes you're just trying to make it through the days and try to find a little glimpse of joy, a little glimpse of peace. Sometimes watching videos online for me, I find these channeled videos, these channelers online that I resonate with, that can just really shift my energy so much to just give that higher perspective and see okay, it's probably not going to be like this forever. I'm moving through this. This is something I'm moving through for my soul to learn from and grow from and maybe help other people. And I can get to a better place. I can find a better way of being in this world. I can make these changes that seem completely overwhelming and scary, and sometimes just I feel like I don't have the brain power, the clarity, the cognitive capacity to take care of these things, where I'm wanting somebody else to do it for me because I'm just feeling too broken down and afraid and like a child. And I'm just desperately wanting somebody else to kind of get me there. And I don't know how this will all play out, how I'm going to find my way through this. It's a lot of emotion. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of running away. And I'm trying to run to things right now. I'm trying to find things to move towards that are more positive, that are beautiful, walking out in nature. Connecting to music. I have a hard time playing music now. I sing and I play ukulele. I used to play guitar, but it was my brain went offline. So ukulele is about it right now. It's not totally, my brain is not totally offline. It's just a little hard sometimes to access. It's a little under stress and just scary. It's hidden away sometimes, a lot of my brain. So again, we have so much judgment about people and their skills and their cognitive abilities and whether they're smart or stupid. So much about that growing up. So much of my fears when I growing up was I smart enough? Was I good enough? Was I, nice enough? Was I accommodating everybody else's needs enough? Was I pleasing people enough? Did they like me? A lot of it was about, am I smart enough? Am I not smart enough? And it's just that's not even the question. It's a stupid question. No, it's not a stupid question. It's pointless. It's we're in whatever nervous system state we're in, and that can screw with your thinking and let's just throw out that whole idea of stupid and smart. it's meaningless. And yes, some people have more talents in some areas than others, but it's like, just let people be wherever they are and let them, and allow them the possibility to change and get to a better place. I can be one level of intelligence in one nervous system state and a completely level in another, you know? It's just like, just let people be who they are. Let's try not to judge it and like label it and like categorize it. I mean, that's, you know, that's very much the ego-based world we're in right now. To do that, it makes sense. But can we not do that? Can we just give people a break and be nice to them and not, you know, it's just like this whole, and we use it to like flagellate people. Like, use it as like ways of just like torturing people and like, yeah, crazy. This is the other label, was crazy. So stupid and crazy are labels that I kind of really attached to at a young age. And the crazy label, again, it's like, and I think these labels are almost useless. They're not totally useless, you know, within certain situations they can be helpful, but in terms of understanding where you are at, but not, I mean, not crazy and stupid, but like understanding what your intelligence, what your skill sets are in certain circumstances. Again, I think it's not like fixed, but understanding where you're at, understanding where your mental health is at. Again, it's sort of, I don't see it as mental health. No, I see it as like body health, which includes your mind, but it's everything. But yeah, this idea of crazy that we have, the words stupid and crazy, I wish we would just eliminate from our vocabularies. Crazy is a word that I've really been hurt